Well, one of the main reasons you might buy a Tone Master amp like the Super Reverb here is because you can use the attenuator that's built into it. Now, there's several settings that you can access on the back. There's a dial, it starts at 45 watts and it goes down through 22, 12, 5, 1 and 0.5. So this is a really simple demo today. I'm keeping the front settings the same, which I'll show you on screen, apart from when I get down to the last 0.5 watt setting because it didn't sound very good, so I just turned off the bright switch. I also had to turn up the mic preamps a lot to get to record just the last clip. And then I've increased the decibels on most of these just on my editing software here, just so you can hear them. But I've got the decibel meter there for you to see. Now, just before we get into this demo, in a couple of weeks' time, I've got a really fantastic opportunity to play a 1959 Les Paul, a burst, a real one. And on top of that, a 1957 gold top. Now, this is because of a viewer called Clive, who's very kindly reached out to me and offered for me to have a chance to spend a few hours with these guitars. And in order to do that, I've also got my friend and guitar teacher, Ainsley Lister, coming down for the day to play them as well. Now, what I wanted to know was, what would you guys like to know about these guitars? Or what amps of mine, if you're sort of been around on the channel for a while, you'll know that I've got quite a few different amps. The Rift Ainsley Lister and the 2-Rock Bloomfield Drive Classic Reverb Signature, amongst others. Do you want straight demos so you can just hear how a 59 Les Paul sounds through all these sort of amps? Or would you like my opinions and my feelings based around how I felt playing it? I feel like that's the route I'll probably go down. I don't have long with this, probably 3 or 4 hours, hopefully. Anyway, thanks, Clive. And I'll probably mention this again before the day so I can get more feedback from you all. Anyway, into this, I might cut in a place or two just to tell you what it felt like playing the amp as I went down through the attenuation settings. We're using a P90 Les Paul today. Let's get on with it. So having had a chance to look back through this, I feel like the first 3 settings are all pretty loud. The 45, the 22 and the 12. So if you're looking for something that's a bedroom amp, even when you're playing with the 12 watt setting, it's pretty loud, as you can see on the decibel meter there. As you get down to the 5 watt, which is coming in a second, I feel like that's the first time where you get a significant drop in the volume. So if you're interested in this as a bedroom amp, then that's probably where you want to start looking. At 12 watts, I think this is probably where you could play in a lot of smaller gigs, small to medium gigs. But being that you have so many settings around, 12, 22, 5 and below, there's probably enough places for you to find where you need to be. Let's see what it sounds like. Surprisingly, the 1 watt setting is still pretty loud. It's in the mid 90s decibels. Now bear in mind the decibel meter is about 10 foot away and it's not directly in front of it, it's to one side of the amp. There's no pedals or anything involved here, it is just guitar into amp. Now I'm on 6.5 on the volume setting because that's the sort of breakup and tone that I wanted. You could go a little bit lower, and in future videos there's going to be lots of super reverb videos around this amp to give you a chance to see all the different angles. I will play it at a much cleaner setting because I'm going to be doing more pedal videos with it, and we'll do a little bit more about this whole volume thing. Anyway, let's see what it sounds like in the final quietest setting. You know, it doesn't sound that bad at 0.5 watts. Yes, it gets a lot more squishy. As it has done through each clip, it gets a bit more squishy. And I kept the settings the same, to be fair, but really you would alter your bass and your mids as you went along. And I turned off the bright switch to do that last one because it sounded really buzzy, you know, like bumblebee-like sort of buzz. So that wasn't great. But this is where, in your bedroom, in your living room, whatever, practicing, where you're going to have the most comfortable volume. So what we need to do in a future video, which may be the next one, is what do pedals sound like when you've got it on the lowest 1 or 2 settings here? Is it really feasibly useful for that? And in that video, we'll also plug the amp directly in and use some pedals and see what that sounds like. I hope this has been useful. If you're looking into these Tone Master amps, and specifically the Tone Master Super Reverb, maybe think about subscribing to the channel. There's going to be several more videos coming in the next couple of weeks, all around this. How useful is it at lower volumes, at home, with pedals, etc. So anyway, thank you for watching and Happy New Year. See you soon.